Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Here, we embrace true femininity. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update.
As the soft glow of twilight kissed the horizon, a sense of nervous anticipation filled the air. The gentle rustling of leaves and the chirping of birds seemed to echo the beating of hearts as they all gathered in the picturesque garden. Amidst the array of vibrant floral arrangements and elaborate decorations, one particular figure stood out, their form shrouded by the flowing folds of an exquisite white gown. It was then that the truth began to unravel, as the cross-dressing dilemmas of the day finally came to a head: the wedding edition. The bride, or rather, the groom in disguise, could feel the weight of the world on his shoulders as he surveyed the crowd. He had managed to keep his secret safe for so long, but now, with the big day almost upon them, he couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt. How would everyone react when they found out? Would they laugh? Would they cry? Would they accept him for who he truly was? These thoughts swirled through his mind as he struggled to maintain his composure. Meanwhile, the guests began to whisper amongst themselves, some already suspecting the truth, others blissfully unaware. The maid of honor, who had known all along, gave him a reassuring wink as she adjusted the veil over his head. She had been his confidant throughout this journey, and she would stand by him, no matter what. As for the rest of the guests, they were simply caught up in the magic of the moment, oblivious to the storm brewing beneath the surface. Just then, the officiant cleared their throat, signaling for everyone's attention. "Dearly beloved," they began, their voice carrying across the garden, "we are gathered here today to celebrate the union of two souls who have found love in each other's eyes." The cross-dressing groom swallowed hard, trying to maintain his composure as he listened to the words that felt so foreign on his lips. "It is with great joy that we witness this occasion, and with open hearts that we welcome you all to share in this special day." As the ceremony progressed, the cross-dressing groom did his best to focus on the words being spoken, to ignore the whispers and stares that seemed to follow him everywhere he went. He couldn't help but feel a pang of longing for the day when he could finally reveal himself to everyone, to live his truth without fear or shame. But for now, he would have to content himself with this moment, this beautiful, bittersweet illusion of normalcy. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the ceremony came to an end, and the guests erupted into applause. The cross-dressing groom, still wearing his disguise, stepped forward to share a kiss with his bride, the person who truly held his heart. As they sealed their vows with a kiss, he couldn't help but feel a sense of relief wash over him, knowing that no matter what happened next, they would face it together. The reception was a blur of laughter, dancing, and celebration. The cross-dressing groom, now free from the constraints of his disguise, reveled in the freedom that came with being his true self. As the night wore on, he found the courage to share his secret with a few trusted friends, and to his surprise and delight, they embraced him with open arms. It wasn't until the very end of the night, as he and his wife stood together under the twinkling lights of the stars, that the cross-dressing groom finally found the strength to speak the words that had been weighing on his heart for so long. "I'm sorry," he said, his voice barely more than a whisper. "For not telling you sooner. For making you go through all this without knowing the truth." His wife placed a gentle hand on his cheek and smiled softly. "I knew something was different," she said, "but I didn't care. As long as we love each other, that's all that matters." And with those words, the last of the cross-dressing dilemmas vanished into the night, leaving behind only the promise of a bright and beautiful future. As the first rays of sunlight streamed through the trees the next morning, the cross-dressing groom woke up next to his wife, a smile playing at the corners of his lips. He knew that they still had a long road ahead of them, but for now, he was content to bask in the warmth of their newfound happiness. And who knows? Maybe one day soon, they could find a way for him to live his truth openly and freely, without fear of judgment or rejection. Until then, they had each other, and that was enough.